Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look. What we want to do now is we want to have a look at what we need to do to start acquiring new customers. So let's just quickly have a look at the different tools, the different resources, the different, should we say, weapons we have in our arsenal to actually get out there and start acquiring new customers. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do, obviously, is you need to figure out who's your tribe. Because once you know who your tribe is, it's so easy, because your tribe is ultimately your perfect customer. So what does your perfect customer look like? What are the demographics, the psychographics? What are you going to do to help you to disqualify the wrong customers? Because remember, it takes as long to acquire, or should I rather say to prospect the wrong customer, as it does to prospect the right one. And ultimately in sales, what is our major function? We want to work at finding methods, systems that makes acquiring customers as simple and seamless as possible. The next thing you want to do is, so you know who your tribe is, you then disqualify your customers. In other words, you disqualify the wrong prospects so that you know you're just targeting your perfect prospects or your tribe. Next thing you want to do is you want to research. So now that you've disqualified the wrong ones and qualified the right ones, the next thing you want to do is you want to have a look at researching. So you want to have a look at the organization. You want to know, so you know you've got a checklist, and you know to acquire a new customer, there's certain information that you need to get. So the first thing you do is you get out there and you research the organization, and you try to see how many questions from my checklist can I actually answer about the organization's needs, values, and expectations before I even arrive. So that's the preparation around the organization. Secondly, we need to start looking at the individual, because remember, organizations don't buy your product or service, people at those organizations do. And that's why it's very, very important for you to research the people. Get to know what their personality type is, or try to uncover their personality type, their thinking style, decision-making process. Start to have a look at important things like, what are their hobbies? What are their sports? Because remember, it's so much easier to engage and connect with someone like you. So try to figure out things you have in common, because when you can connect things you have in common with things that they do, it becomes so much easier to connect and engage with customers. The next thing you want to do is, now that you've got to know them, know the organization, you've answered a lot of the questions, you've started to figure out as much as you can about the individual, the next thing you want to do is you want to start engaging. You want to start arranging face-to-face meetings with their clients. So what are you going to do? What systems, processes, multi-channel communication strategies, what are you going to do to make your customer aware of you, so that when you do indeed try to arrange an appointment, it becomes easy, because they're aware of you, they're aware of what you can do, and they want to engage with you because they can already see that there's a potential for you to add some value to their business. So once you've had that first meeting, right? So that first meeting, you arrange a face-to-face meeting, and the purpose of that first meeting is a discovery meeting, because what we want to do is we want to probe, ask, discover, and ultimately uncover each customer's specific needs, values, and expectations. Because once you know what that is, you can then, because obviously you know your value proposition, once you've really probed and discovered effectively, it's really easy for you to connect that specific customer's specific needs, values, and expectations to your value proposition. So once you've now had this discovery meeting, you need to go away, prepare a proposal. Now that proposal has got to be completely aligned with that individual customer's needs, values, and expectations. And then the next thing that you do is you arrange a proposal meeting where you take that proposal and you deliver it, or you show the customer how you've indeed connected your value proposition to their specific needs, values, and expectations. And then from there, it becomes easy for the customer to actually see the value that you're actually going to bring. Let's say you don't manage to close the proposal meeting. What's the next reason for visiting your customer? Now, I find what you need to start thinking about and searching for. We're going to dig a lot deeper as we go through this module, but right now I want you to think, what is the next reason? So the reason must be related to showcasing what you can do, because ultimately, once your customers accepted that your proposal is, kind of going to meet or match their needs, the next thing they need to do is they need to evaluate it, and they need to say, okay, so they look good. Let's compare them to our current supplier, to other competitors who we've possibly looked at. So we need to evaluate, what are you going to do? Because just phoning and saying, I dropped off a proposal a week ago is not a way for your customer to evaluate your services, to evaluate your product. So what are you going to do? What I do is I arrange a mindstorming session. So at the mindstorming session, it's an amazing opportunity for me to really get to dig down and get to know my customers' specific needs, values, and expectations. It also gives them a golden opportunity to have a look at everything I can do. So I showcase my facilitation process. I showcase, can I indeed deliver an effective sales enablement solution to my customers? Now think about yours. Once you get into that evaluation phase, is it just the begging bowl? I gave you a proposal, are you ready to proceed? Or have you got a process? Or think about, let those innovative, creative juices start to flow and start saying, what can I do to allow my customer to evaluate my product and my service on an ongoing basis? The next thing you want to do is you want to say, okay, so you're evaluating my process, which, like I said, in my case is a mindstorming session. What is it going to be in your case? Once you've delivered that proposal, what are you going to do to showcase your service, your product, right? Once I've done my mindstorming session, now, like I said, I've really got to know my customers. They've had an opportunity to evaluate what I can do. Can I indeed deliver what I say I deliver? The next thing I do is I deliver a really tailored proposal, a second proposal meeting. At that meeting, I really dig down, because remember, I've had an opportunity now to really get to know my customer's business. And I know what we can do and how I can connect our value proposition to exactly those specific needs, values, and expectations that I've uncovered from my prospective or future customer. Think about yours. What are you going to do next? Because ultimately, you never want to leave a meeting without having arranged a purpose, a date, and a time for the next meeting. So what are you going to do to be able to do that? Because once you leave and you've left the proposal, as you know, 9 times out of 10, the customer just disappears. Why? Because they feel some kind of risk. We don't know what that risk is, but because they feel some kind of risk, they're not ready to proceed. So what are you going to do to keep that process going so that you never leave a meeting without a purpose, a date, and a time for the next meeting? So, like I said, we're going to dig really deep in this specific section. We're going to get a deep understanding on what we need to do, but I want those creative, innovative juices to start flowing. What is it that you're going to do to keep those sales, those deals alive and moving through your sales pipeline? What are you going to do to increase the velocity of those deals through your sales pipeline? And most importantly, what are you going to do when your customer has got the proposal and now they're evaluating your proposal? What are you going to do next? Because unless you've got something next, it's just like you got the begging bowl out and you're going, please, I've delivered a proposal, would you choose me? Rather than, here's what we can do, let me show you so that you can evaluate and differentiate us and choose us, not because we're begging or we've begged enough, but you choose us because we've in many different ways shown you, given you opportunities to evaluate our product and service effectively.